Greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and this is the Gaming Watch Weekly for the Gaming Watch, the channel. This is going to be episode number 12 for September 23rd, 2019. The things we're going to cover in this episode is going to be Minecraft adds character creation, Borderlands 3's first DLC, Epic Game Store is giving away 6 Batman games, Ninja chimes in on video game violence, and there's a new Total War game announced, and much more. So we have German the Great over here with us. How you doing over there?
I am doing fantastic, honestly. It's really being a really good day, actually.
And yeah, good to hear. And we have Oz, as usual, here as our other host. How we doing over there, Oz?
Been busy, really busy, but glad I could fit this in this week.
We're glad you could fit it in this week. I know how you've been. I know how busy you've been.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Work keeps keeping me going.
Well, we got to pay them bills, right?
Yeah, and luckily I have the skills that can pay them. So.
All right, so let's jump into this news here. The first article is Minecraft's latest patch adds character creator. So, introducing the Minecraft character creator. This is from their page. Personalize your avatar in a number of ways, including body size and shapes, limb replacements, and tweaking of eyes, mouth, hairstyle and colors, facial hair, and skin tones. More than 100 items will be available for free. There will also be a range of custom accessories created by the Microsoft team available for purchase. The character creator is currently available to beta testers, but will also roll out to Minecraft Earth, as well as other Bedrock, platforms like iOS, Nintendo Switch, once the beta has concluded. Traditional custom skins can still be imported as before on Windows 10 and mobile using the following steps, blah, 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 blah. I find this very interesting that they're adding this because I think they made most of their money off of the skin packs that they would sell. Yep. And now they're basically saying, hey, we're going to give you a bunch of stuff for free. You can customize your own character. And then we'll also sell some other stuff on top of that. So I don't know if this is going to hurt their revenue or increase their revenue. What do you guys think?
I think if anything, it will possibly draw people back in that have maybe left just to see what they can do. So I mean, kudos to them for finally doing a character customization. You know, people have been wanting that for a little while.
Yeah, that draws my attention, honestly, because, I mean, I was a big, huge Minecraft fan. You know, as much as I love my Legos and all kid, you know, Minecraft actually reminds me a lot about that. And having to customize it a little bit better, it draws me like, hey, we should actually do a live show and just build something, you know?
And then destroy it at the
end. Let's chuck some dynamite.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's really nice. Actually, I like it. I would like to have it, honestly. Now.
Now, please.
Join the beta. Join the beta. Jump in on that. Or, I'm sorry, for our English-speaking people, beta.
Beta.
So you call it a beta fish?
A beta fish. A beta fish, I know.
Beta fish.
Beta fish. Speaking of beating things up, Oz, you want to talk about Borderlands 3?
Sure. So with October being, 10 or so days away now, maybe a little bit less, Borderlands 3 is talking about their first in-game event, which is Bloody Harvest. It should be dropping, late October? So it'll be available for players that have left Sanctuary for the first time, and we'll have unique weapons, buffs, stuff like that. Honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to it just because I really haven't done a Borderlands in-game event before. So, yeah, hopefully they've done great with the game so far, so I think the Bloody Harvest is definitely going to do well as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've done some of the older ones, and I've done the Borderlands 2 Halloween one. There was a little bit of frustration with it, but it was also a lot of fun, and getting the different items. I think they said there's going to be a new gun, a new grenade,
Yep.
and a new headpiece or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like a new bobblehead.
a bobblehead.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a bobblehead, and then you kind of equip the headpiece. So yeah.
The depends on the head though. Not all of them are bobbleheads.
No.
I got one called Yokai that looks pretty dope on Flack. He looks like a demon.
I got one for Moe's, and it looks kind of like a brewski flap down type hat. So
Gotcha.
Okay. Haven't had it yet. I'm still yet to buy it.
Hey, you're behind the power curve, but so are we, because we were gonna play the hell out of it, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, guess what you're doing now? You're gonna be on the road. So
yeah,
I'm a little behind.
You are a little behind. You're so far behind that I've actually been playing on my Xbox, and I passed you on my Xbox. I passed us on our Xbox. So
yeah, well, once this stuff settles down, we're gonna get back to it.
Yeah. Well, I want to get to max level so I can do some builds and stuff and see how that all works out, and maybe maybe do a video on my build for Flak, because I've already got a theme that I'm using with the pocket racks where I throw them out as often as possible and just wreck things. So
I don't know. I'm still curious to see how Iron Bear turns out further on. Because right now it was like, oh, let's just get more fuel so he can keep going and keep going. And then now that we're getting close to max fuel for Iron Bear, it's like, now what's the payload gonna be? What's the best payload to pick?
Yeah, trying to min and max those side skills are going to be crucial. And I still haven't looked up how many skill points we actually get to see if we can go into other trees or not.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
So German, you want to talk about these sweet free games that Epic's given us?
Dude, this is super epic.
That was
awesome,
bad. That was bad, man.
I just had to do it.
That's all right. I feel you.
But they're actually giving out the Batman Arkham Asylum game year edition. They're giving out the city game, Arkham Knight, Lego Batman Trilogy. So it's actually really cool, because it's a lot of cool games, that haven't been played, and you can just hand them out just like that. Just drop it. Drop the mic. Here you go. Play it. Have fun. That's actually really nice, of them doing that, because not a lot of platforms, for example, PlayStation, they're only giving out one. It's like, it's cool. Thank you. You know what I mean? But here we get all these, that's super awesome, honestly.
Epic's just trying to get people to, stop bad mouthing them.
Well, I got an article later on that I don't know how people will take about Epic Game Store and exclusivities, but we'll get to that later. So the other thing I find interesting is they released them. They said, here's all your Arkham games, right? Your Batman Arkham games, Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and they did it last week sometime. I don't remember when, but I went in the day of. Well, over the last couple days, they went in and said, you know what? We're just going to give you all the DLC for them, too.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? So, if you guys haven't played the Arkham games and you want to waste 100 of hours solving all the puzzles and doing everything, you could definitely do it in these games. They have lots of puzzles, especially the Riddler stuff. Oh, my gosh. It's crazy. Yeah. So our next story is kind of a weird one, and I guess while Ninja was on Jimmy Fallon, yes, streamers are now going on talk shows. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
Where's our invite for that?
I know.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail. It takes a little longer.
His people's got to talk to our people, and we don't have our people yet. So there's
people's yet.
That's where our problem is.
You over there? Get on it.
Get on it.
Yeah.
So what was interesting is somehow the subject of violence in video games came up,
We've talked about this before too.
We have, and what I thought was great was Ninja's response. And I'm just gonna read what he said, and this is quoted, so you guys know this is him talking. He says, just like there are movies that have rated PG-13, rated R, same thing with video games. Your kids shouldn't be playing rated M for mature games. So as parents, you guys, it's up to you to make sure you're watching and making sure your kids aren't playing those violent games at a young age. Boom. Walk away, done. That's a mic drop.
But isn't that what we said in our video too? It's like parents got to step up and not just be like, "Oh, here you are. Stop screaming. Shut up." And it's like, okay, what's this game about? Do some research.
Here's your tablet. Shut up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you got to be careful what you're letting them play. But then again, like I said, I hate this topic with a passion because it's like, I've watched plenty of horrible, like the John Wick series. I mean, he killed how many people in just the first one alone?
But yet I'm not Saving Private Ryan, the first 20 minutes. How many people died in that 20 minutes? So
sure. Yeah. So it's like, quit using it as an excuse. Oh, it's the video games. Well, before that, it was, it's the TV, it's the movies. Oh, before that, it was rock and roll. So it's like, get off this topic, Violent people are going to do violent things. You just have to find a way to hopefully catch them early or find a way to treat that issue.
Well, each kid is different. Like my kids have been playing video games since a young age, but they were mature enough to handle it and know that, okay, the things I'm doing in this game are not okay in real life. You know what I mean? This is not stuff I should be doing. Not that they ever played Grand Theft Auto or anything, but like if you're driving down the street, you don't swerve off onto the sidewalk and start ramming people. You just don't do that. That's not cool. And you're going to get arrested for it. So, I think he nailed it though. He's like, be a better parent.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I would agree with that, 100%.
Two of us are parents here. German, you don't have any kids, right? We never discussed that.
I actually do.
Oh, that's right. You have a daughter. That's right.
I do have a daughter. She is going to be 12, and she likes video games, but unfortunately, she likes reading a lot more in sports. So, and I love it because she's very well rounded. She loves to, she's into band and stuff like that. So I don't have to worry much about video games. It's just more about sports stuff now, getting her out there, very active. So that's awesome. I love that. But it's true. I mean, a lot more kids, they play video games. Like I have a little cousin, same age, he's out there playing, it's Call of Duty, he's just out playing, all these crazy games. And I'm like, what I've seen that my uncles and my aunt does, they actually do the research. What kind of game is this? What are you going to start playing? What are you doing? The hours you're playing, how long are you playing on that? How much time are you having to play inside the house playing video games, and how much time are you out there, doing other activities? And I believe if you actually have that structure, I think they can become from being stuck in the TV to reality, to being out there and having something to do, and not be confused of what's reality and what's not. Because if you're stuck in the TV watching this, doing this every day, it's like you might get something like, oh, this is normal, but it's really not,
Yeah, definitely feel you there. All right, so enough of beating that dead horse. You got some more EVE Online stuff for us there, Oz. What's that about?
So, you and I remember back 2 months ago, the blackout in nullsec happened. Well, after 2 months, everything has subsided and nullsec has returned to normal. The blackout has ended, and the player base is extremely happy. They lost a decent player base for a little bit with this nullsec blackout. So, it could happen again if there's another invasion. The relays might get attacked again. But at this point, everything's back up and running, and hopefully the player-run corps will settle down, and the market in game will settle down as well.
So
But
did they have to go and recapture all the communication points to, or was there
well, the
that kind of
relays are
mechanic?
just there. You know, I don't really think you have to capture the relay. I think just story wise, the relays were taken back from
Okay.
the.
So did they have to take over the areas and get rid of
Well, I
the
mean, now they
invaders?
had to recapture the areas of space, and they had to push away the invaders back from the space stations. But I think what it is they have retreated back to like dead space. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was all over the internet or the game sites when this first happened,
So
and
there's a theory I had way back involving MMOs,
mhm.
massively multiplayer online games, and I thought that there was a little bit of social engineering testing going on in some of them. And this being one of the earlier ones, this could be just an extension of that where they're like, let's see what happens if, they all have a common threat. Do they stop fighting each other? Do they band together? What happens? And what happened was they were like, I'm out. You know?
Yeah, yeah, they didn't adapt to the threat. So, and of course, I'm not a null sec player. I don't like going out there and risking what I've worked hard to get, just because I'm not a full time Eve player. But um, you know, when you take away their ability to watch chat and who's coming in and out of that section of space, because usually when you would hit that warp gate and you would come in on the other side, your name would pop up on the side of the bar over the chat bar over there, so they could see who was there. Well, the thing was, is they took that ability away, so you didn't know who was out there unless they said something. So if they didn't say anything, you had no clue who was lurking around. And if they had a cloaking device, well, then you really didn't know what was going on. So, yeah, it was kind of bad.
Yeah, but at the same time, it'd be more exciting, you would think.
Well, you would think, but again, I think it was status quo. You affected status quo, and there was no end in sight. CCP kept, like they always do, they really just keep it tight lipped. They're like, yeah, this is going on. This is how it's going to be for a little bit. And, well, they didn't even give an end date. They were just like, this is what happened, you know, as of July 12th is what I got written in there. That's when it started. So
Did
now
uh
you're,
did I ever tell you that in Steam they touted it as an expansion?
yep.
It was
Yeah,
like
you did.
it was, yeah. They said it's a free expansion, and so that's how they
Well, I think
sold it.
well, not the event, but I think there was recently an expansion which released new ships and new skills and stuff. I think that just accompanied it as
Ah,
well.
gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
but yeah, just that one event wasn't an expansion. Yeah, or it was just the event that, because usually when a new free expansion comes out, there's some sort of events, like when they did like the cruise missiles. They really, they had a bunch of ships that came out that could equip the cruise missile and stuff like that.
Gotcha. German, you want to talk about the Total War announcement that we got?
Yeah, definitely. So a video announcement of Troy, a Total War Saga, was published on September 19th. This video showed Achilles calling out for Hector on the gates of Troy, just like the movie Troy, and within the name being a title difference and the video not showing anything that looked like actually gameplay. It will be interesting to see if it keeps with the family from formality of Total War games, or if it's something differently entirely.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did watch the video, and they didn't have any of the traditional, what looked like the traditional Total War. When they're on the field of battle and you have all the armies.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Yeah.
was like more of a cutscene thing. I think it'll probably still be Total War, but I hope they add some more like one-on-one battles, like they did, like they were showing with Achilles and Troy, and then have that do something to morale or something. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah. I like
Yeah.
the Total War series, so I've always been a fan of that. I mean, especially like Rome Total War. That was awesome. I
Yeah.
really liked that. Yeah.
So what about
It's
you,
really nice to
German?
see
You
that,
play
honestly.
those? You play the Total War?
Yeah, I played them. It's nice to play. You know, it's really, really interacting. I've actually watching this now as we speak again to see details on this if I can get more out of it. But it's really interesting how it looks and the details they have, and you know the maps and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really interesting to play.
Yeah, I just hope they don't go blow by blow with the movie. I hope they actually do their own storyline. But
Yeah.
It would be really interesting. You know what I mean? Because the fact that you're adding into it, you're playing into that story, you know, and you're just expanding the broader views of that time. You know, and you get it more in depth into the history.
yeah, and I hope they really add to the heroes of those wars like Achilles and Hector and the Miramons and all those type of characters. I hope it's not just like random troops here and there, but the heroes actually do stuff. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that'll be really interesting.
Cause
Graphics look phenomenal with it.
yeah,
They do.
because Achilles was supposed to be unbeatable until the arrow hit him in his heel.
Mhm.
So
Well, I mean, it still looks like the troops come onto the field in formation and stuff like that, so that hasn't changed. But it looks like you are going to have like hero types out there, so
Mhm.
that would be cool.
yeah, I wonder
That would be
did
cool.
anybody play the Warhammer Total War one series?
Nah, I'm not a huge
No.
Warhammer person.
Because I was wondering if they added heroes in that or not. Because I didn't play that one.
Yeah, not a Warhammer guy, so I couldn't tell you. I
I'm
tried the MMO for Warhammer and I didn't stick with it very long.
the MMO for Warhammer.
You remember that?
No, I think I might have played it, but I don't remember it. What was that one?
Let me look it up. It had a very short life.
Yeah, I don't think it reviewed well. I think I might have played the beta and was like, nope, I'm not liking this. I'm out.
Yeah, Warhammer Online. It launched in '08
And died in '09.
and
Died in '09.
no, it went on for a little while. I'm
08.
trying to find it. But yeah, it didn't last very long.
That's all right. I'm gonna go on.
Age of Reckoning. That was it.
Age of Reckoning. Yeah, I'm gonna go on to the next story, which is
Sure.
Rainbow Six Siege has been getting DDoSed.
Oh, hey, just like Blizzard.
I think this might be a little different. There's been a bunch of complaints coming from the Rainbow Six Siege community about DDoS attacks on servers that are running matches. This mainly affects ranked matches, but has been seen in casual modes as well. And here's what Ubisoft's doing about it. They're doing ban waves. They said they've identified the worst offenders and will do a ban wave. Impact the players that have been found to be initiating the DDoS attacks will be banned. And they're saying this will be next week. Reducing matches per server. So if there's that means they're going to have to expand their server count, right? So if they typically have 30 matches on a server and they're going down to 3, that means they got to add 10 more servers
Yep.
or 9 more servers to keep with that up, capacity. I don't know if that's a valid long-term solution. They're also removing escalating abandoned sanctions, which I guess that means when you I don't know what that is. Maybe when somebody abandons a game, you can it hurts them or something. So they're kind of removing that because of the DDoS.
That might have been something like when Blizzard did their Dota style game, when people were leaving, the whole leavers thing. When if you left in the middle of a match and you were losing, you'd get negative
Rep or something.
rep with them, and you had to work harder to get rid of that negative rep. So that could be something similar to that.
Maybe.
Just guessing.
I think that's fair to have.
Yeah, I think the other major thing is that they're discussing the current situation with their legal team to see if they can do anything on the legal side of things.
Well, you can, because the guy who was messing with Blizzard, he got arrested.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, he got arrested. Well, with the Blizzard one, a guy told another guy to do it. I don't know if he dared him or what, but he was like, this other guy was like a known DDoSer. He's like, hey, go do something to this. And the guy did it. So the guy who told him to do it seems to be getting in more trouble than the guy that actually did it.
Well, I mean, the whole conspiracy versus, conspiracy to commit murder versus actually committing murder. There's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Goes hand in hand.
But what I find
see.
interesting about this is almost like to do what they were doing, they almost had to be in the match and DDoS the match they were in to cause the trouble that they were causing.
That'd be kind of hard to do. Well, I mean, you could still be connected to said server, then launch a DDoS attack. But
And that's how you would get the IP, right? Because you're connected to it. So.
Yeah. That's usually how they hit the Blizzard logon servers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't even hit the actual game server; they just hit the logon servers, and then you can't connect. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with all these DDoSers and stuff going forward.
Well, I mean, it's technically illegal. It's like computer terrorism. So
Yeah, it is classified as computer terrorism. It is.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Blizzard, you want to go to the next story there, Oz?
Oh, sure. So, excuse me, Hearthstone's new solo adventures coming out, the Lost City of Tol'vir. So I think it's out now, and of course the League of Explorers are coming back, and they're going to do battle with the Plague Lord of Murloc. So that's kind of interesting. But the first part of the story, of course, is free, and then as each chapter unlocks, that's $7, and then if you just do the whole purchase, it's $15 total. And of course, new cards and whatnot. So hopefully, when I get back, I can do a video on it like I did with the last round of stuff, because I do enjoy Hearthstone. I like the card games a little bit. So
yeah, I like card games, but Hearthstone I can't keep up with it.
Well, I mean it changes so often, and then every year it's like these sets get moved over to the wilds, and then these are the sets that you play in tournaments with, and it's like, well, why can't we just keep everything in and stop doing this thinning things out stuff? It's like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know like with Magic, they would do so many, okay, these are the ones you're doing tournaments with, and everything else is just, it's legal, but you're not going to get in a tournament with that deck or whatever. So, yeah. So when things slow down and I'm not on the road as much, I'm going to try to do a video on this.
Oh, wait. So what you're saying is there are 4 chapters?
Yeah.
And they're $7 a piece, or you could buy all 4 for $15?
Mm-hmm.
How does that make any sense?
Well, it says on here, Plague Lord of Madness, Scorched Dunes will be available for $7, or the bundle for $15. So,
I guess it makes sense if you just want to play that one. You know what I mean? Instead of having to play all of them.
Well, it was like,
but it's $28 for all 4.
So
I mean, but I mean, why would you want to have all them? Games.
Well, odds are you're gonna buy it all if you start it, just because like with the Frozen Throne, when that set finally came out, and you wanted to get up to Arthas, you could play the first wing, but then you wanted to unlock the subsequent wings, the Plague Wing, the Blood Wing, and then finally you could get up to Arthas. So it's just like that, or I don't know, a couple of the other ones. You either pay more to unlock each one individually, or you just say, here, take my $15 and get all of them.
I just think it's a miss on Blizzard's part. If they're going to sell them for $7, sell all 4 of them for $21, buy 3 get 1 free. 15 just seems like a weird number to. Hey, I'm not going to complain. It's hey, savings for the player, but it's like I would have went 21 for all 4 of them.
Right now, Blizzard's not everyone's favorites. So, and the Hearthstoners don't always get the love, just kind of like the Diablo players. They don't get a lot of love. So,
Hopefully
you
this
know,
October we do.
we find out, man. We find out. I'll let you know from BlizzCon.
Yeah, you better be making a video right outside the thing,
Live bet.
and then we can't go live. They changed the rules on being able to stream live from your phone.
No way.
Yeah, you got to have 1,000 subscribers or something. So we're not near that yet. So
no, not even close.
Yeah,
I got like 7 or 10.
I was streaming from my mobile device on my other channel, and I was under 1,000. Then they changed the rule, and I was like, okay, there goes that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, look forward to the videos. So I know this is a game that German's looking forward to. You want to talk about some Planet Zoo?
Oh yes, I have been just stopped the game. So the beta is coming out on September 24th. So here in the next couple of days, that's gonna be coming out. So I am definitely gonna be ordering that thing. I actually really like that game because of the fact it reminds me when I used to play Zoo Tycoon back in the day, like way back, you know. And it's actually really interesting graphics, the theme they have, you know, and how you can customize and create, you know, each individual crate and everything. So it's actually going to be really interesting when it comes out. I am definitely going to do that. It's going to be really fun, honestly.
Yeah, it should be good. I might actually have to get the deluxe edition so I can get the beta too. You know, waiting until November 5th might not be a bad idea when it actually launches, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Because there's so many games out right now that me playing a Planet Zoo game and all that time is just waiting for things and just watching your customers, and it's fun, but it is a time sink, and it's a casual game, so maybe like a good stream game, but I don't know.
Maybe a series.
Yeah,
maybe. I miss Roller Coaster Tycoon, man. Just saying.
Did you play Planet Coaster?
No, Roller Coaster Tycoon, or that theme park one where.
Yeah, Planet Coaster is made by.
I liked building the one that just shot them up at an angle, and then you kind of made it short, but you overspun it so they would just launch off the track.
So like down and then zoom.
So have you played Planet Coaster?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I think you'd love that game then.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's Frontier, who makes this game, made Planet Coaster.
Okay.
And it's like their take on the Roller Coaster Tycoon series. Yeah. Then they also made, I don't know if you saw the Jurassic World game that was like this last year or the year before. They made that one as well. So they're used to making these kinds of games, and I really think they do a good job.
I have to check that out.
So
it's really fun, honestly. Very fun.
Let's see who has the better zoo. So, all right. So, speaking of making money on a zoo and making money in general, Epic Game Store exclusive cost Epic nearly $10 million. So, we've been wondering why people would go exclusive on the Epic Game Store. This is why, because there was a report released that states the parent company of 505 Games, Digital Brother, that's the name of the parent company, received $9.49 million to be an Epic Game Store exclusive. So, I'm sorry, but if I'm a developer and you're going to give me $10 million just to release on your platform and not another one, and I can still release on consoles, give me the money.
Yes. Yep.
I'm a business here. Give me that money. Let's do it.
Yep. Capitalism at its best.
Exactly. And, you know, I can't blame Epic for doing it. They're trying to get, you know, Steam has been so big for so long, and they've been like the only shop in town that you have to spend money to compete with them. So I don't see an issue with them doing this at all.
Not at all. It makes total sense when you look at it in dollar signs. It's like, hey, get this money right now, or take my game and put it on other platforms and see if it'll sell as well. I mean, again, everyone complains, oh, you should have released, Borderlands on Steam. It was like, why? With Steam A takes entirely too much out of the cut. So I don't know. It's I don't think they're looking at it from a capitalist point of view. Like, it's all about, that's what the entertainment industry is about. Let's make money so we can keep making more entertainment.
Exactly. We don't want these game developers to go broke so that they don't continue to make more games that we want them to make.
Yes.
And
Yep.
and there was a report by one of the game devs last week that he basically said that they're not making money on Steam.
No, because Steam takes too much. They take, what, 20, 30% or whatever?
30%,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it's stupid when you have, a company out there like Epic who will pay it and launch it exclusively there. I mean, there's been competitors to Steam like Origin and whatnot, but I mean, that's like EA specific. So I don't know. I mean, there's never been a true competitor to like Steam, where they get everything.
And I like the fact that they want to just give the money up front. That way they can create new content. Instead of having to wait until if it gets bought, how much are you going to be making to create new content? And that's a really good plus side with a lot of developers. That's the money you can use to create stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And they obviously knew Borderlands 3 was going to sell, so it was an easy investment, so I mean, the other ones did extremely well. Why wouldn't this one? Unless they completely botched it, which they haven't. I mean, it's so far, I think it's better than the other two. So,
Yeah, it's a good game. Sounds like you got enemies at the gate over there. You gonna do something about that?
she was staring at me and shaking her toy and trying to get my attention. Then she got bored, and walked away.
So here's a game that I thought was gonna die out. We weren't gonna hear any more on it. What do you got to tell us about Anthem there, Oz?
So the whole Axe update, they were going to release update and what they called Axe. Well, that's being shelved for the whole seasonal update. They're gonna worry more about revamping the game because of its its reception, much like the other game, Fallout 76, just not done very well. I touched, what was it, Cataclysm a little bit, and still it was like, for the hype that this game felt, it needs to be revisited, and they need to overhaul quite a bit of it. So I'm glad to see the Axe being set off for a while, or however long, so they can get this seasonal stuff up and running and fix things and get the game back in a more playable state, because it's pretty much a ghost town. I mean, you have the diehards that enjoy it, but so does Fallout 76. So,
definitely.
I mean, I loved it. I mean, the game looked great when it first launched, and I fell for the hype train because I'm, very few games, like that really catch me, like Cyberpunk. But everything I've seen on Cyberpunk says, the hype is well deserved. Anthem was the complete opposite, where it was like, oh, this game's going to be great. You're in kind of a mech, but not. And you can fly around, go underwater, whatever. And it's like, oh, no, that's not it at all. There's no story, very little of. And the missions repeat themselves.
Yeah.
A lot. So yeah, they just got to redo it.
What would it take to get you to go back to Anthem? Would it take Anthem 2, or would you think they could repair it enough to get people to come back to it?
I mean, I look at it like with Division 1 in its early release. It was like, okay, once you plowed through the story, you were like, what do we do now? What do we do now? And I think this is where they're at. If they can revamp it, get some decent story, because I'm very story driven. If it's just a shooter, like I don't stick with shooters very long, like, I don't know, Overwatch. Like I play Overwatch every once in a while. No story. And what story they do have is like to capture other segments of our community, you know, by giving people backstory, not a true defined story like Mass Effect. And that's pretty much what I look for, and that's what I hope they would do is give your freelancer more of a story, and choices are important too. So I don't know, it might have to be that if they can do an Anthem 2, maybe, I don't know.
Well,
Anthem exclusive.
Anthem exclusive. They
Anthem is exclusive on Origin.
if they did well, sales wise, they can do it. And EA is a big company, right? It is EA, right?
Yeah, it is
EA,
EA, but
BioWare.
but EA is also the bane where it's like of everyone's existence. It's like microtransaction.
Yeah.
So it's like
And they backed out of Mass Effect Andromeda really quick. They backpedaled on that one and didn't. They should have supported that so much more, and they should have just fixed all the
we're not
problems.
even gonna go there because there's still arcs out there that they're, you know, at the very end you're like, hey, we're the Quarians. I know there are arcs there because I'm getting radio static, and so I'm like, I want to go save them, but it's like,
You can't.
You can't because the game, they said the game flopped, but it's a Mass Effect game, so I know it didn't flop, but it wasn't as well received because I don't know, Shepard wasn't there, but
No,
Shepard
it wasn't
you know?
well received because there was too many big games that came out right around it, like God of War and a couple other ones.
But I mean, Mass
And it
Effect
wasn't-
still has its own true following, just like Dragon Age does. You know,
It does.
N7 Day,
And all those
you know,
people
every
bought
November
it.
7th, there's always something Mass Effect-ish released. So it's like, I don't know. I don't. I think they screwed Andromeda. I really do, because it had the potential, and I would like to see them return to the Pathfinder because we never did find a planet, you know. So
I just think they didn't support it well enough. If they would have came in and said the right things, hey, we're fixing these things, we understand that. I mean, really, you're gonna get upset because the guy's mouth and eyes are weird or something, and that's
it was
gonna.
the makeup for a while there. That one girl, her makeup was atrocious, but it was like,
But-
okay, but
yeah.
let's look past this. Let's look past this and look at the story. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
okay, so this arc left before the Reapers came, and we didn't even know this when we were fighting Shepard's, or we were playing Shepard's story arc, but we had launched our arcs out towards Andromeda, which is a good distance away. And now we get to play, you know,
And discover
in
the
a
arcs.
and now we get to play where we're in a completely different set of space, and oh no, you know, the makeup is horrible and the dialogue sucks, and it's like, okay, but Mass Effect 3 had some horrible graphic issues in the beginning, but you fixed it, and people are still streaming Mass Effect 3. So
Yes.
it's like, come on.
But
You
that's
know,
what I'm
let's stop
saying,
being
that
little kids about it
if
and enjoy it for what it is. And
there
it's,
was
I mean,
3 games that came out that were like mid-9s in their ratings right
Mhm.
before it came out.
yeah.
God of War was one of them. I don't remember the other 2. I remember there was like 3 games, and then it came out, and I think it just took a point or 2 off just because it wasn't as good as those one. It wasn't as polished as the other games, and I don't think that was fair because I didn't think it was that bad of a game. I played it and I enjoyed it, and I thought that the actual combat was probably the best Mass Effect combat
It was.
in the series, but they're gonna all complain about, the weird graphic glitches and stuff like that. And I didn't have any issue with the story. I thought the story was good. I thought, okay, so you're a Pathfinder, you're trying to find new worlds. That to me is interesting. Why did these people have such an issue with it? I think it just comes down to they had the other games were out and they were bashing it because it didn't match up to those.
Well, I mean, you know, PC Gamer just day one was tearing it apart, you know, and it was little nitnoid stuff that annoyed me because it's like, let's stop looking at this little stuff. There are by far worse games out there that you guys have given kudos to,
Oh yeah.
but you know, you're not giving Mass Effect its due justice because the chick on the space station has bad makeup and their mouth doesn't always move when you hear their voice moving. It's like, whatever, man. Let's that stuff will pan out with a couple patches, and it did. But they all of a sudden were like, nope, we're pulling everybody off of the team and we're putting them somewhere else and we're abandoning Andromeda. And it's like, but you didn't finish the story.
Yep. They abandoned it and they
you
didn't
finish the story. Like the Krogans found a perfectly good planet, but that was like it. It was the Krogans, you know.
Go Krogans.
I love the don't get me wrong. I love the Krogans, you know, but it's like every good team out there in space should have a Krogan because they're an organic bullet stop. You know, they can't die. So I don't know. We could go back and forth on Andromeda, and it's just how poorly received it was, and it wasn't that bad of a game. So no. I didn't play the PvP stuff though, so I can't speak to that.
Oh well, I think that's where they focused was on the multiplayer, and since that didn't go well for them, I think that's why they really backed out of it, because that's where they make their continual money. But if they would have sold a season pass or a 3-4 DLC pack, I would have bought that.
I mean, I invested. I bought the high-end version of it, thinking, like with Mass Effect 3, there were several expansions, there are several DLCs with it. Several of them, a couple of them added sub-story and all of that, and it was like, this is great. It's side story that it's not relevant at all to the main storyline of defeating the Reapers, but it added more depth and gave Shepard more, humanistic qualities, I guess, or it was good. But enough beating on that dead horse.
I'll just say one more thing. To be honest with you, after 3 Mass Effects, I was tired of Shepard. Just throwing that out there.
I don't know.
Just throwing that out there.
Shepard because he depending whether you played male or female Shep, doesn't matter. I liked the Shepard story, but you're right.
The story was good. I was just tired of it.
3 of them and you're done. I mean,
3 long games.
Yes, very long. And Dragon Age has done well, and each one has had a different hero.
Well, you create your own in the last one.
Okay, but the thing is no matter who you create, it's kind of the same. In the first one, you're the Grey Warden. In the second one, you're Hawk. In the third one, you are the Inquisitor.
Right.
So it's like the main person doesn't matter as long as the damn story is good. If that story is good, I will keep coming back and I will keep throwing money at you. And that's why I love Mass Effect and Dragon Age and all of that stuff. It's story.
All right, enough beating on that one.
Yeah, he gets me on these topics and then I don't.
So we're getting a free dungeon in Remnants of the Ashes. What's that about over there, German?
So the dungeon is called Aleto's Lab. Something like that. I don't know how to read.
Yes, Litos or Letos. It's Leto. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
And they would actually has a secret art set inside. It actually has new enemies and crystals. You can actually turn into a special cloak, which is pretty nice. And also has to escape, you would have to need to solve a puzzle through and beware before you enter. So you have to solve that puzzle, and that's just quite interesting actually when you have these puzzles. That's really sometimes that going out there hunting it and stuff like that, and look, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I played this with my son one weekend, and it was kind of cool. Not the Leto's lab, but we were out in this new area, and there were these like large tiles on the ground, like 8x8 tiles, and they were all in a square. And in the middle there was like it looked like a sewer grate. And as you walked on these tiles, I noticed that they started to depress, and I was like, "Is this a puzzle?" And right next to it, there was like this door and this big, building. And so we started messing around trying to figure out like how far we could, because when you would depress one, then you go to the next one. And if you went to the wrong one, enemies would spawn and you'd have to kill them and start over. So we kept doing this to try to figure out, this whole, if it was a puzzle or not. And we eventually did solve it and get it, and it opened a door, and the door right there, and so you went in there and you went down, and underneath you could buy this skeleton looking armor set. And I just thought it was cool. Without any prompting or whatever, I was like, is this a puzzle? And then we spent like a half hour trying to figure it out and fight these guys. and we got rewarded with some nice armor for it. So I was just like, that's the way you do it. You don't, say, hey, go over here with this quest guy, and if you do these things, you'll get... No, just put it out there. Let people figure it out. It's more rewarding that way. When you're like, nobody's told me this. I didn't see this on the internet. I just ran into it and was like, I wonder. And it turns out it is. That's cool. To me, that is cool.
Yes. Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
So I'm glad it's getting more content. It's a really good game.
Sounds like it.
For those people who don't know what it is, it's kind of like a Dark Souls with some guns and boss fights and that type of stuff. So if you guys interested in that kind of game, go check it out. Looks like they're giving out free content. This isn't the first stuff that they've added to it. So, yep, check that out. All right, so our topic of the day. So, you know that I'm doing a So Random series. I've actually did the gameplay for the first episode, and I actually got the intro video. It's probably going to be a living intro video, because as I do games, I'm going to have them pop up in the intro video. But the question is, because the game that I'm doing is kind of strange, what is the strangest game that you guys have played and at least mildly enjoyed?
Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. Let me pull it up here in Steam.
I will tell you, the mine was this weird series called Grotesque, and there was at least 2 of the games. It was like an overhead isometric kind of RPG, and just the whole thing was just like over the top, like Borderlands style in a fantasy land type of humor, and it had all these, like, the guy was constantly picking up on the girls in the game and stuff like that, and just all this weird humor and all these weird characters, and that would be it for me. It's a game called Grotesque, and I didn't like overly enjoy it. I played through and was like, okay, that was entertaining, but yeah, it was that's the one for me.
I wish I could pronounce this one. It's let me go to the store page, but it's by a developer of Artifact Studio, and it's something Tales of a Werewolf, and I think it's French Canadian, but I'll have to send the link over to you. But every night these werewolves and wolves attack, and during the day you have to prepare, and then at night the attacks happen, and it's just, as the story progresses, things get weirder and weirder. And I'm probably gonna do a So Random on this just so you can kind of see, but I really did enjoy it. It has a very positive review, but I'll send the link over so you can see what it is. But
all right,
that was probably the strangest one, because I had never heard of it, but it was on a Christmas sale, and I was like, what is this? And then, there's certain abilities you can pick, like making your traps better, getting more ammo or silver ammo, and makes it easier to kill the wolves and werewolves. So
cool. German, you got one?
Okay. I'm just looking back into my play to see which is a weird one that I got.
I know I'm putting you guys on the spot.
I know I played a couple. I just can't remember.
I think you guys will be interested in the game that I'm picking for the first So Random video. It's pretty unique. It's something I've never seen done before. I'm not going to ruin it. Yeah.
I put the title of the game down in the comment down there. If you copy paste it, you'll be able to look it up
in
Discord.
Oh, okay. I can't do that right now. I'll have to look it up after. Because if I minimize this, we'll get that whole Inception thing with my desktop.
Oh, yes. I want to.
Here it is.
That's Inception. Inception.
I found a game, which is really, really weird for me when I was playing it. I just grabbed it randomly. It's called Let It Die. Not sure you heard of that?
I played it. Pseudo 51.
That one there.
That is a weird one.
Sketched out weird game. I mean, you start out just chilling out of nowhere. You just start battling on this crazy stuff like zombies coming out of nowhere. You're just going through it, and then you die, and I don't know, it just shows up. And it's actually it's. I just started playing it honestly, and I didn't know what it was. I just picked up. I think
Someone's
that'd be the
unhappy.
randomest games I ever played. It's just super weird.
Yeah, I went on a binge with that game for about 2 weeks, and then I ended up stopped playing it because I don't know if you ever. He's got enemies at the gate. So yeah, Let It Die. I played it for like about 2 weeks, and I got to the point where I had a lot of because you have all your different soldiers and stuff, and you can send them to
Right.
attack other bases, right? Or you can invade other people's bases. Well, what I got tired of was coming back from not being online for a night, and people were invading my bases and taking my money and stuff, and it was just like. I'm not even online. How is that even fair that I'm like going in the negative and I could never get ahead in it? I was just like, you know what? Screw this. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it was super random, honestly.
But it's a interesting take on it. You go through the different areas and you fight other guys, and if you die and you go back to the area, you got to fight your guy that died there.
It died there, yeah.
You gotta fight your corpse.
Your
Yeah.
your corpse, like technically.
Okay. But you can get your stuff back that way. I mean, some of it.
So.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Let It Die is definitely an interesting game, and it's anything from Pseudo 51 is a little off weird. I don't know if you guys know that company very well, but
No.
definitely look them up. You'll be like, yeah, they got some weird ones. They got some definite weird ones. So, all right, so we have covered the topic of the day. So let's go to game releases for the week. And I feel like I've talked about these before, but
Yeah.
FIFA 20 is coming out on September 24th on the Nintendo Switch, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Did I mess up last week and talk about these?
I don't know. I'd have to.
Yeah, I have
I
to look
don't
at the
know.
notes. Code Vein comes out on September 27th, which I thought that came out on Friday. And that's coming out on PS4, PC, and Xbox One. The Surge 2, I know I didn't talk about this one because it comes out on September 24th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And both, we all know what FIFA is. Code Vein is like a Dark Souls with anime vampires.
Okay.
That's how I'm going to describe it. And the Surge 2 is I think they're a Russian company that's making their own take on the Dark Souls thing. They made the Lords of the Fallen. I don't know if you remember that game. And
Yeah.
then the Surge and now Surge 2. So if you guys like those hard get good games, there's two for you right there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll take a look at them.
I
don't know about
Look,
FIFA
I don't
now.
know.
Code Vein, I'm interested in that one. I don't know if I'll get it with everything I got going on right now. I still got so many games I got to try to finish.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm probably gonna have to just let some go
It's
to
that time of year, though.
go by
It's
the
that time of year
wayside.
that it all queues up.
It does. And then you get that back catalog that you go into next year going, okay, what did I not finish?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm interested. I'm waiting. I'm like for FIFA. Should be awesome.
so you're a FIFA player?
I do like FIFA. I play it, occasionally, not all the time, but I do love playing. Honestly.
So maybe I'll have to get it on the PS4 and we'll have to go head to head.
Yeah, possibly.
See what you got.
Sure, you got.
They still have the mode where you can play two people on the same team. I think they do, right?
Yeah,
Because we could
I
do
think
that
so.
as well. That's fun as well. So we don't have to
Yeah, I think you
compete
could
against each other.
do. Yeah, I think it's like you'd be able to play up to, is it 3? Is it 4? Can't remember. But yeah, you'd be able to play with each other and actually try to.
Yeah, that we can maybe do that. Let me know if you get it, and then I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? I think we went through everything. I didn't miss anything, did I?
I don't think so.
Nope.
we beat a couple dead horses today, so I think we're good.
Yeah, people are probably gonna be like, "Would you guys stop talking about these things?" No, not if they keep coming up. Just the nature of the biz.
Yeah, and they're important topics, So it's just my point of view is not going to change. Maybe the way I articulate it will,
but you'll articulate it better, I hope.
Yeah, maybe. I don't swear as much, so that's gotten better.
Yeah.
Don't need the mature rating on our videos.
We haven't got any yet. There's
Not
only
yet.
been 2 times that you slipped.
Yeah. Usually it's in a topic I'm usually a little passionate about.
Well, one was the Division 2 with that jerkwad.
Oh, that was that guy when we were trying to do that pickup raid and he was being a douche. Yeah.
Hey, so speaking of douche, I was playing Rocket League on Xbox One. I gotta tell this story because this guy ticked me off. I'm gonna bring it up so I can read you exactly what he wrote to me as well.
Oh, he wrote to you?
So we're playing the game and we ended up losing by like 2 points at the end. It was close for like half of it, and then we ended up losing by 2 or something. And I'm the top scorer on our team. I scored like 2 of our 3 goals. I think I got an assist on the other guy's goal. And the guy that started talking garbage didn't do anything, literally. He started in on me because they scored and I got like bumped and I missed the save because I got bumped from behind, I think by our other teammate. I don't remember. But so I ended up going flying and missing the save on a goal, and it went in, and he started saying, I don't know if you haven't played Rocket League, they're always like, it's
not yet, but it's I'm gonna queue it up. So
they say it's what a save. They have like these they have these chat commands in there, and they all the same. And what a save usually means you missed the save. It doesn't mean you got the save. They usually don't use it for that. It's usually when you miss it. So he started going, what a save, what a save, what a save, and spamming chat. And I was just like, what's your problem? And then he started typing, and he started calling my name out and calling me out. And I was like, what the heck? So then the game ends, and I look at the score, and I have like 300 something. The next guy has like 250. The guy who's calling me out, 60 points. And I'm like, whatever. I forgot about it. So then I went in the day later, and he left me a message on my Xbox, and it was like, this is what he said: boost starving, pathetic, trash, gold, uninstall. And then he goes, I've had bots more useful.
Really?
And I'm like,
so he doesn't even score. He's at the bottom of the board, and he's telling you to uninstall and stop playing, even though you're the top point earner on the team.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm like, whatever, dude. I mean, and I had like 2 saves in that game. I had an assist. I had 2 goals. So I'm like running the gambit of being a team player and making things happen. And he comes after me, and I'm like, whatever. So it's like, so you'll see that. Well, not if you're playing with us, but if you play with other people, your teammates are the worst ones at talking smack, because you can avoid. The other players are like, okay, yeah, you guys scored a goal. You're gonna say what a save, what a save. I get it. But when it's your teammates, you're like, man, shut up and just play, dude.
Yep.
60 points.
I mean, today's gamers like that absolutely drive me nuts. It's like, that's why I dodge online stuff at all possible. It was like, I don't know, I was playing Red Dead Redemption online the other day, doing the bounty hunter, and I'm coming up, and there's this narrow pass, and this guy's coming right at me, and I'm trying to dodge, and he kind of runs into me, and we both collide. We kill each other's horses, and mine flies off down a hill, so I run down there, I revive it, get up and take off. And then he's sitting there taking pot shots at me as I'm taking off. And I'm like, dude, I tried steering away from you, and you steered into me to make the collision happen. I had a bounty on the back that I needed to hurry up and turn in, because once you take the bounty and you get close, it's like, all right, a 7-minute timer happens. And my luck is they usually take off. So I have to kill everybody, then I have to go run or get on my horse and chase this person down. I usually take them in dead because it's easier, because if they're alive, they get off your horse and run off, and I'm like, well, screw it, I'm just gonna take all my bounty in dead. and I'm just trotting along, and the guy can see I have a body on the back of my horse, and he runs right into me and kills my horse. I'm like, serves you right, man, but damn, gotta be taking pot shots at me. So I'm turning around and firing back. But I'm like, that's
he was griefing you.
Yeah, and that was been the biggest complaint with Red Dead Online is griefing. You know, like you'll be running around doing your own thing, fishing, hunting, and then some dude will lasso you and then take off on their horse and drag you and kill you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You know, it's like. So I mean, they've done this whole punishment system where if they keep griefing you, you know, you can eventually get it to where they get kicked out and get booted into a different instance. But it's like, man, I was just doing my job. I was turning in a dead bounty. Leave me the hell alone, you know.
You killed his Pookie.
Hey, man, he killed my horse too. I just had a horse reviver on me, and I was like, here you go, come on, let's go.
He was crying for his horsey. And now you killed my horse.
It's too bad.
I mean, I get it, they're expensive, but damn, you know, I'm just running around on like a level 2 horse. So it's
you know what they should do is the griefers let their bounty go up, and let a player take a bounty on them, kill them, put them on the horse, and they can't respawn until you turn the bounty in. You could just run around for the whole 7 minutes until like 5 seconds are left, and then turn the bounty in at the last possible second.
I mean, you can. So if you build up your skill high enough in bounty hunting, you can go after player bounty. I just don't know what happens like
on their end.
I think it would be like as soon as you trigger it, you have to then turn them in. I don't know.
Probably. Or you kill them and that's the end of it or something. Having to turn their body in.
Honestly, yeah. But it's like
go find out for us. I want to know.
That sounds pretty
that's fun. A lot of. I don't know if I have enough time to dedicate to getting leveling that. I was just playing the 3. The collector, there's the collector, the guy the hunter, and then the bounty.
Oh, that's right. They released those classes, didn't they?
Yeah, the classes. So I was checking them out. Like the collector, you run around and pick up tarot cards and feathers and arrowheads and stuff like that. So bounty hunter's fun just because it's all about going in somewhere and finding the mark and then either taking them in alive or taking them in dead. I prefer dead. I get less of a reward, but that's how I dispense justice.
Dead or alive.
Yeah, I feel you there. So I know you're busy until Wednesday. On Thursday, we hope to stream some more Borderlands 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to have some things coming out. German, you got anything you're planning on? You all set up over there? Do we need to do anything else to get you ready to go?
I think I should be fine. The only thing I need to buy to get is just going to be a better camera because this camera's acting funny. So I just want to make sure I got it right before I start doing something, But
you're gonna be this big on the screen. You'll be fine with that camera.
All right, just making sure because that's the only thing that's holding back. That and lighting.
Yeah, I think the lighting is your biggest thing. If you got like a desk lamp with some soft light in front of you, that might be good.
Yeah, I'll take a link into that. So as far as right now, I think I'm playing. Hopefully, I might play some games. To start doing that, probably some. Start doing like a series of. I'm not sure yet. Try to find something to do.
Planet Zoo, maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna actually try to, since we're talking about Rocket League, our plan is hopefully Thursday night to do some Rocket League, all 3 of us, and then over the weekend, Oz and I will hopefully stream some Borderlands. So hopefully Thursday night we can all get together and do that. And I don't know if it's gonna be a stream or just a video. It might be just a video, and then we put it up the next day. We'll have to wait and see how that all pans out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Hoping so. It just depends on my workload with what's going on.
So. I know, yeah, you got a lot of drama going on there.
Yes. Yeah.
But we miss you, man. We miss you.
Hey, man, like I said, Tuesday is going to suck because
don't cry, German.
I look forward to Tuesdays, man. And
I'm
going to be out.
I know. Me personally, I'm going to be working. I've got the intro, like I said, for the So Random and the gameplay. I need to edit that video. That'll go out on Tuesday, and then I'm going to hopefully have some Let's Plays for the rest of the week. Not sure what I'm going to do on there. If anybody has anything they want me to play, let me know. If you have anything that you want any of us to play, let us know, and we'll see if we can make that happen. But yeah, until next video, take care. Bye-bye now. Static Buzz, German, and Oz, we're out.
See you later.
Later.
Good show, guys.
Thanks.
Good show.